Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Molly, and today I wanted to do a little discussion topic just because it's been on my mind lately, and I wanted to know your guys' thoughts. What I want to discuss is authors writing multiple genres, because right now, in my brain and kind of on paper and computer sort of, I have multiple stories for different genres. I have a fantasy, I have a horror. I had the smallest, vaguest idea for a dystopian, but I've had ideas for contemporaries too. And when I look at my shelf, Sarah J. Maas writes fantasy. She writes fantasy with fae in it. Both of her series are fantasy. Cassandra Clare writes always in urban fantasy, you know, the Shadowhunter world. Stephen King, all horror. Daniel Vega, all horror. But then you get to Alexandra Bracken, and she has a dystopian and a time travel novel. Then you go back to John Green, who's all contemporary. Josh Sundquist has written all contemporary. But then again, you have Veronica Roth, who's now written a dystopian and a sci-fi. And Suzanne Collins has written this dystopian, and Gregor the Overlord, something like a children's fantasy or something, middle grade fantasy. But then again, you have Paul Cleave, who writes thrillers, murder mysteries, and I've just been stumped, because when I think about these certain authors, when I think about Daniel Vega, I immediately think horror. When I think about John Green, I automatically think contemporary. But then again, you have authors like Stephanie Perkins, who tried to write a horror, but it turned out to be a contemporary with horror tendencies, which I just find so bizarre. And I keep thinking, do authors only get ideas in one genre? Do they get ideas in multiple genres, but just don't write those other genres because that's not the genres they're particularly fond of or have ideas for? They don't feel like they could write that. Say John Green tried to write a fantasy. Do you think he could? Do you think he would? Do you think he has ideas for fantasy novels? And it's just nah, I can't. I don't. Fantasy's not my forte. I couldn't write that. Because I have my fantasy and my horror novel, which I am going to be writing with my best friend. I love both of those ideas, and I think they're both ideas for amazing books. But I just wonder one day if I publish them, would people be confused because I have a fantasy and a horror? Those are very, very two completely separate genres. It's not going from dystopian to sci-fi or dystopian and fantasy, stuff like that, because those are in tune, kind of similar, but also once again very different from the outlines of the stories and stuff, and the requirements to be both a sci-fi or a fantasy and a dystopian, very different. But I just keep wondering, is this what people expect of certain authors? Do they expect Sarah J. Maas to continue only writing fantasy with fae in it? Because that's what both of her novels are right now, both of her series. Do they expect that to keep going, or do they, if she decided one day, I'm gonna write a contemporary, would people be confused but still on board because it's Sarah J. Maas? Or would they be Sarah, hold your roll there. You want to write a contemporary? That's not gonna work. Where did the fae come in? I'm sorry, I'm lost. And I continuously wonder, do authors who write adult and then move into young adult, are they not as popular in one or the other because they're not as well known, or their book they're better at writing adult novels and they're not very good at writing young adult because that mindset's different? I don't know. And I just want to know other people's thoughts. Do you think that authors can write in different genres, in different categories? Or do you think most authors stick to one because that's their best, what they can do best, and what they are good at writing, or like they only think people want to see that from them since their first novel did so well or something. I don't know. Because like I totally get why Veronica Ross switched to sci-fi, because dystopian's kind of dead. I feel like writing different genres or different categories is just so far-fetched and no one does it. And I want to know what you guys think, if you guys have the same concerns. And yeah, just discussion. I don't know. I just want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. So give me your thoughts and opinions, whether that be in a video of your own or in the comments below. Either one would be very much appreciated. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!